Hey, Jennifer, let me, I think it says you added in. Let me see that you're here. Yay! I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you.
So did this little tool speak to you? Does it change? Like when you keep hearing the content again, does it change for you?
I've got that one mastered. I literally zip them and they go right in the trash. I used to have them laying around my office or in the drawer, and now they go right in the trash. They're gone.
You're like zipped and done. I love it. You're like, that's mastery level. Intro level, like it's just right there on your desk. Like I'd say expert level, maybe it's stuffed in a drawer. Like complete mastery level, you're like, zip, done. I'm already letting it go, Laura. That's amazing, Jennifer. So what would you say to a newbie? Like, can you just share a little bit about your story, how you found me, where you were in your life, like how you use these tools with there's brand new people in here who are just like on their very first time with us tonight.
Yeah, so it's been about a year since I found you. I found you on TikTok. Some of the group knows some of my story, so I'll just tell it real brief. Is within a 6 to 8 month time span, I lost my dad to suicide. My brother was shot and murdered, and my husband had an affair with our friend. And I was left to clean up my dad's estate, shut down my brother's business, and I was lost. And I was in a really dark spot. My daughter introduced me to TikTok, and I'm like, I don't have time for this. She goes, Mom, just give it a try. And I found an angel, and that was you. I mean, I couldn't even think. It's like when you're going through some grief, you're in a dark spot, and sometimes just to think you can't. And there was a TikTok that you had did about, what was it? 3 hacks to happiness. And it was about finding a gentle smile, finding something comfy and cozy, and then laughing uncontrollably. And that night, I went and got some fuzzy socks, my fuzzy blanket, a comfy pair of pants, and I sat on the couch and I go, I did it. And there was a gentle smile, and that's where my journey began. And then I joined your private group coaching. And when I say I binged 5 to 6 hours a day, I binged, because you're like, well, this is included. And I'm like, let me at this stuff. And I was filling notebooks with just all kinds of notes and trying to go back. And like I said, it's been really good. And the one thing that really was good for me was mastering your happy list. I went through a high conflict divorce, a 7-day trial, and most divorces, less than 5% go to trial. Hello, it was me, I guess. And I mean, it was very trying. And there was one day where I'd had enough and I just couldn't take anymore. And I felt the tears coming up, and I was so strong. And I reached down in my bag and grabbed my happy list. And I just started reading it. And it just got me back on track of where I wanted to be. And before I went to that courtroom, I visioned the courtroom ahead of time. I visioned the judge. I was like, this is done and over. I've got this. You've got this. And when I got there, I was so calm. It was, everything. I practice your tools like my life depends on it, because it does. So,
hey, I know that line. I'm like, you guys, I'm a student of my own work. You see all these amazing things happening in my life. Like I practice my tools like my life depends on it, because it does. Your mindset separates everything. I love that. Well, first of all, I just read when you said that you'd be willing to speak, it really just sunk into me when you messaged in the last week of all of this that happened in that short of a time period. So first of all, our hearts are exploding in love for you right now, because the amount of pain, it's unimaginable. And, how far you've come from it And what a light of inspiration you are now. I love that I have enough content in our private group coaching and all of my courses that I filmed since 2010 that you can binge for 5 to 6 hours a day if you need to. I suggest during the 6-week private group coaching, I'm like, please give yourself an hour to 2 hours a week to work with me. But if you do need to put it in your ears at any time, listen to it in the car, right? Like, do whatever you can.
Yeah. And I always go back to what you say. It doesn't diminish what somebody's going through, because people go through so much grief and hardship in different ways. And what it is, it doesn't matter about that. It matters about how are you going to get going moving forward. Now moving forward, and that's what you've taught me to do. You've taught me to move forward. And like I said a few weeks ago, my windshield is so big, my rear view mirror is little. I'm not even looking at that. My feet are moving forward. I've got so much to do and so many things. And, just with my career and everything now, that's all multiplying. And I'm, just working every angle. And when I first joined you, I only had 3 things: peace, joy, and happiness. That's all I wanted. And so I got that, and I'm like, okay, now we're on to health and career. Let's go.
Let's go. I love it. You're like, and I love that. A lot of people ask that. You're like, a lot of people are like, can I manifest multiple things in different areas, or where do I even get started? I love that you started because of where you were with just feelings that you wanted to feel, which is really, some of our first lessons in that 6-week private group coaching. Where are you stuck? What do you actually want to feel? What would unstuck feel like to you? Freedom and peace and content, or pride, or, peace, love, and joy. Is that what was it?
Yep. Peace, joy, and happiness.
Peace, joy, happiness. I mean, and then how do you unlock those if they're in there, right? What would you say to any, new people who are just in the 7 days now, considering the 6-week, like the difference of like learning the tools, being part of the community, like any just, insight that you can share?
I'm living a motto every day with Laura St. John. That is my motto, and that's what I feel, and I practice you every day. And I would say to anybody that's coming in, you see results in yourself, in the self-love and self-care, and that's what you have to do. You have to tap into some of those things, and your tools, you give the tips right with it, Laura. So I couldn't think, what do I need to do? And you're giving the examples, which is helping just push things along when you can't think. You're giving, like I said, well, what's comfy? I don't know. Oh, fuzzy socks. Yeah, I got that. Blanket. Yep. So it's those things that help navigate us through. And like I said, I just think anybody is going to benefit just from the community and the support that you get within the community, as well as your energy. It makes me want to be a better person every day. Mm-hmm. It makes me want to help the next person. Like I work in property management, and I'll have contractors come in, they're like, well, that's not going to happen, too big of a day. And I go, oh, we're not done yet today. We're going to finish it.
Hold on. Impossible's a limited perspective.
The butt is gone with everything of mine. I hold the line in the sand. I haven't moved it since I started doing that. And it's empowering. And I used to think that if I did that, I'd be the B word. I thought that's what it meant. And I'm like, after listening to you and learning how to do it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a badass.
Yes. You're like,
it feels good.
I'm confident. I can hold my line. I can know my boundaries. I can draw the line around myself. I could be the guardian of my vision. I don't have to, turn the keys to my happiness to anyone else or anything outside of me. I'm now in control of me, despite these struggles. I see people in the chat, that are experiencing loss, experiencing tragedy. And, you don't have to force the flip. You just have to know right now that you're still meant to, just like Jennifer, like put on the fuzzy socks and still gently have a smile with yourself with a little head nod in the mirror, right? So little things that are the big things.
Yeah.
Well, I have a surprise for you. So one, you won a 30-minute private with me, right? So I can't wait to actually hop on and do a 30-minute session with you one-on-one, because I don't do that very often. But I want to share this with you. Hold on, I got something coming up. I think you can see my screen, right? Okay, I don't know if you saw this, but I am launching the first ever, like, until I have my own app, which is coming at some point, maybe two, but until I get there, I'm going to do an everyday with LSJ during our next 6-week private group. I will literally be popping on every day. And, you know, because of you. I'm literally doing this because you have inspired me so much. I've seen so much change in the people who could be posting to me, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to be launching this private community inside the Facebook community right now until we have other community like tools that will also be coming at some point soon. But I wanted to gift you that back, Jennifer, because I'm like, how can I do that? How can I, during 6 weeks, like do these webinars? These 7 days have been so fun so far, you know, and I'm like, I just love talking to the community in these webinars, the special webinar software. I can only invite these speakers in like you. I know on Zoom, sometimes we see all the tiles. We'll have happy hours and other events that we do in our 6 week where we get to meet each other, you know, community events and all that. But I was like, how do I do what a lot of people are asking, which is like, just give that energy all day, be like one little click away. So I'm so excited to give that to you for the next 6 weeks.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. And I've been under the weather for 4 days. I've been sick for 4 days. And today I'm like, we're doing this. I'm getting up. And I've been following Monday and Tuesday. I watched lessons. I got up and I'm like, I just wanted to keep up. I didn't want to get behind.
Yeah, amazing. Good job. I mean, these 7 days, it's a good brush up for any of you here who have been with me for years or months or since it's a good brush up of these tools. For anyone who's brand new, it's a great introduction. For anyone who's about to do the next 6 week private group, or you're already in my mindset school, so you're getting into the next 6 weeks with me, you know, this will next level it. So I was like, how do I add this community feature? And like, I had the 5-inch Jennifer on my shoulder being like, every day with LSJ. And I'm like, cause I'll just pop up wherever I am, like 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, to just kind of add another dimension to my coaching. So, you know, I hadn't been on Facebook in a while. At all. And I was like, you know what, let me just hop back on there as a community feature and get back on. So I'm psyched with that. So make sure you know, it's not live yet. It'll go live when we launch the next 6 weeks. So can't wait.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing your story and honestly being such a light for anyone on this planet who's like needing to carve a similar path and, you know, looking up to you for that, you know, for that level of strength you now hold. So thank you.
And Laura, it's baby steps, just baby steps, a little bit here and there. And like I said, then you notice things and it's amazing.
Amazing. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer.